What if I told you there are places in the world with no police at all? No sirens, no patrol cars, number 911 calls, and yet people live peacefully. No formal law enforcement, yet crime is rare. No uniforms, but still, rules are followed. How is that even possible? How do these communities maintain order, safety, and justice without the systems the rest of the world depends on? Stick around, because what you're about to learn might challenge everything you believe about crime, punishment, and peace. Let's dive into some of the most fascinating places on Earth, communities that thrive without police. 1. Christiania, Denmark, a self-governed society in the heart of a capital city. In the middle of Copenhagen lies a place that feels like another world, Freetown, Christiania. No police patrols. No traditional government. Yet, the community has survived for over 5 decades. So how does it work? Christiania relies on community consensus. Disputes are resolved in meetings where everyone has a voice. They even have their own rules, independent of Danish law. Here's the twist: they don't allow violence, hard drugs, or weapons. And while it's not perfect, crime rates here are surprisingly low. 2. The Ifugao people, Northern Philippines. High in the mountains of Luzon, the Ifugao tribe has lived without police or prisons for generations. Instead of punishment, they focus on restorative justice. If someone steals or causes harm, the entire community gets involved to make things right. The goal? Restore harmony, not just punish. This ancient approach has helped them maintain peace and avoid the cycle of violence that formal justice systems often struggle with. 3. Rojava Syria, a bold social experiment amid conflict. In the war-torn region of northern Syria, something remarkable happened. Amid the chaos, a region called Rojava decided to govern itself without traditional police. Instead, they created a system of community defense units known as ACIsh, local councils for decision-making, an emphasis on women's leadership and equality. Despite being surrounded by conflict, Rojava built a system based on direct democracy and local accountability. And here's where it gets interesting: their crime rates dropped, and the people had more say in justice than ever before. 4. Auroville, India, a visionary city without police. Auroville isn't just a town, it's a dream come true for those who believe in peace without enforcement. Founded in 1968 as an international utopia, Auroville is home to people from over 50 countries. There are no police, no political parties, and no private ownership of land. So how do they stay safe? Problems are handled through mediation, community circles, and dialogue. Everyone contributes to the system, and in return, they share responsibility for its success. This raises a powerful question: do people act more responsibly when they feel they belong? 5. Amish communities, law without lawmen. The Amish are often misunderstood, but their way of life is one of the most fascinating examples of self-regulation. Most Amish settlements have no police presence. If someone breaks a rule, they aren't arrested. They're often shunned, a deep cultural practice that discourages wrongdoing. This isn't about fear, it's about moral accountability. They believe discipline should come from within, not from outside enforcement. 6. The Zapatistas, Mexico, autonomy over authority. In the jungles of Chiapas, Mexico, the Zapatista movement created a society where government and police are not welcome. They believe in autonomous governance, local justice systems based on dialogue, not force, education over punishment. The Zapatistas run their own schools, clinics, and courts. And despite opposition, they've maintained peace in their territories for decades. So what makes these police-free societies work? Let's break down the key elements that appear again and again. 1. Strong community bonds. When people know each other, they're less likely to commit crimes. In most police-free areas, people live in tight-knit communities. There's mutual accountability, because everyone depends on one another. 2. Restorative justice over punishment. Instead of sending people to jail, these places focus on apologies, compensation, rebuilding trust. It's not about getting away with it. It's about repairing harm. 3. Cultural norms that guide behavior. Where modern law depends on enforcement, these societies build moral expectations from childhood. Right and wrong are taught through stories, rituals, and daily practices. There's shame in wrongdoing, not just fear of arrest. 4. Self-governance creates responsibility. Ironically, when people aren't watched, they often behave better. Without a police force, individuals take more ownership of their behavior. In many cases, less law equals more accountability. But here's where it gets even more thought-provoking. Could this actually work in modern cities? In places with millions of people, complex systems, and diversity of values? In the next part of the video, we'll explore places where police were removed temporarily, and the results were nothing like what you'd expect. What happened in Camden, New Jersey, when their police department was dissolved and rebuilt? What about neighborhoods in Minneapolis that tried replacing police with community programs? Stay tuned, because this next chapter could rewrite everything we think about public safety. 5. Real-world experiments, temporary police absence. Let's talk real-life case studies where police didn't exist, at least for a while. Camden, New Jersey, a police force reset. Camden once had one of the highest crime rates in the US. But in 2013, they made a bold move. They disbanded their police department. What happened? The city created a new force with a community-first approach. Officers were retrained to de-escalate, not intimidate. Crime dropped. Murders fell by nearly 50% in a few years. They didn't eliminate police, but they showed how radically different policing could be. Chaz/Chop Zone, Seattle's police-free experiment. In 2020, during the George Floyd protests, activists in Seattle created Chaz, Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, a space without police. Volunteers provided security. Medics, food services, and community defense all came from within. But things got complicated. Without structure, some areas fell into chaos. Still, it sparked global conversations about policing and community power. The message? Police-free zones can work, but they need systems, structure, and shared values. Could you live without police? Let's be honest, not every society can go without police. Big cities, organized crime, and social inequality make it incredibly complicated. But these real-world examples prove one thing: humans are capable of organizing themselves, often better than we expect. Maybe the real question isn't whether we need police, but whether our systems reflect what our communities really need. Now I want to hear from you. Could you live in a place without police? Do you think these community-led systems are the future, or just idealistic experiments? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. And if you found this video eye-opening, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. For more videos that dig deep into how the world works, without judgment, just curiosity, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.